here and welcome back to the online Python series, and in this video we'll talk about statistics module and the random module. In the last video we discussed about the math module, so let's take our discussion of modules ahead and our discussion on the operations with numbers, and let's discuss about the statistics module. Now the statistic module helps us to do the statistical calculations like find the mean, median, mode. We all know this concept, right? Mean is the average of the data, average of all the data that is available. Median is the middlemost value, and mode is the value that has occurred more number of times. There are such more operations, and their operations are also provided by this statistics module. But again, we will practice only these few ones. For rest, you can go to the official documentation of Python and you can refer that. Otherwise, these three are the most important and the most commonly used method of this statistic modules. So let's get back to the PC and keep going. So for this, I will recommend you to use the command line. There is command prompt, and let's first get into the Python shell. And we have already seen that how to get into the Python shell. Just type Python, and we are into the Python shell, right? And if you are using a Mac machine, you can type there Python 3 and you will be into the Python shell, and you have to use terminal there. Okay, so first, again, the first step remains the same, importing the module. So here our module is statistics, so let's import statistics, and the module has imported. Now there are three methods that we are going to practice now, that is mean, median and mode. Now all these three modules take a list or take the collection of data to find the mean, median and mode, right? So for that we need to create a list of data. I know we haven't seen list in detail as of now yet, but in the previous few videos we have discussed that how to create a list. So lists are created using square brackets, and in that we can put any kind of data, rather it be integer, a float, integer, float, string, or any value. So let's again just create a list for now and understand the statistic module concept, and we will dive deep into the discussion of the list in the upcoming videos on the more discussion on the data structures and data types in Python. So for now, just let's create a list named data, and let's assign some values. And these are some just random values, right? So click enter and the list is created. Now we will try and implement all those three methods. So first let's write print, and in that statistics.mean. And as we discussed, all these modules will take some list or a sequence as a parameter. So here we have to pass data, and we have got mean as 40.9. Okay, so now let's try this with median, that is the middlemost value. So median is 45. If you want to check, then you can again take out the formula for the median, or you can directly see the middlemost value, that is 45. And the last one for the statistics module is mode. So let's again find mode. Mode is a number that has occurred most of the time. So for here in this list, 45 has occurred twice, so mode will be 45. But let's tell Python to do the work, right? So we are learning Python, so let's tell Python to do some work. So statistics.mode, and we will pass again data in it, and okay, so 45, as we discussed, 45 here we have got as mode. So these are the three methods of the statistics module that you need to keep in mind and keep on practicing. Rest, there are many more methods that you can refer from the Python official documentation. So now let's go ahead and discuss random module. Now what is this random module? As the name suggests, the random module is used to create randomness in our code or in our Python. Now why do we need some randomness, or why we need to randomly generate some values? So let's take some applications. Let's say you want to send some verification code like OTP or something, or if you want to develop some game like rock paper scissors, or a dice game. For that you need to randomly generate values, right? So in such cases you will need this random module. Even we will use this random module in our project of the basic course, that of this Python basic online series. In that we have a mini project, right? So in that project we will use this random module as well. So let's take our discussion ahead into the random module, and let's write some code for it. So first let's create a file. Okay, now let's again, the first step remains the same of importing. So import random. and again it will be highlighted once we have used it. We understand now how this IDE works. Well, so let's look into the very first method of this random module, and this very first method is a bit weird. First let's see it, then let's discuss it. Okay, so the very first method is random, and for that we need to write it into print. Now first let's run it and then we will see that what it does. Okay, module name is not callable. Okay, import random. Let's try it again. It is giving us the same error. Okay, let's try it in command line. I think we need to install the random module, that's why. So let's do it. Import random, and we are done with the import thing. And first method is random. Yes, so it worked here, right? So our first method was random. Now it is very weird. The module name is also the random and the method name is also the random. But now what it does is it randomly generates some floating value in the range of 0 to 1. Here it generated 0.1374 something. So it is a random value in the range 0 to 1. So let's run it once again and see whether it's generating something else. Right now it's generated 0.23 again and again and again. So we have seen, we have executed it few times and we have seen that it generates some random values between 0 to 1. So you can use this, and then the value that it is written, you can do some mathematical calculations on it, and you can serve your purpose or the purpose of your client, right? So this is random, the very first method of this Python module. So let's move ahead and we will see the another method. The other method is random.randint. And what this does is it will take a range like two values A and B, and it will print the random number in that range. Okay, so let's pass a range from 1 to 6 and let's try and execute it. Okay, it is giving an error. Okay, I think this I is small. Random.randint. Okay, now it is generating a random value between 1 to 6. Let's run it again. So what we saw, that random.randint takes two parameters and it generates a random number in that parameter, in that range. Okay, so let's try and run it again. So we have seen that it has generated 6, 5, 4, 2, again 6, again 3. So this can be used when we want to develop some dice or game, like right. So now let's discuss another module, that is random.randrange. Okay, so randrange. Now this has three types. This method takes three kind of parameters. First one is just the last value. First one is just the last value. Let's say we have passed 6, so it will assume that it will start from 0 and go up to 6. So let's try and run this. So first it has given us 0, 5, again 0, again 0, 1, again 0, again 3. So we have understood that random.randrange takes three parameters optionally. Okay, so first it can take only single parameter, that will be a last single parameter, that will be a stop value, to that it will understand that the value that is passed as a parameter is the last value and it will start from 0. Okay, the second kind of the randrange is we specify the range. Now this is similar to randint. In that also we specify the range, and here we are also specifying the range. So this is similar to that. And the third one is that it takes three parameters, and first one is the start, second one will be the stop, and the last one will be the step. That is the two that we pass is the step. That is, it will generate random numbers with a gap of 2. Let's say we are starting with 1. So the list will be made of 1, 3 and 5, and it will generate random numbers only in 1, 3 and 5. So the first one is the starting position or the starting value, the 6 is the stop, and 2 is the step. So let's try and run this. So 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 5, 1, 3. So as we discussed, it will generate only 1, 3 and 5. So this was random.randrange. So the another method that is very important in random, and we will require this method in our project as well, that is random.choice. Now what this method does is we need to pass a sequence in it, and it randomly chooses some value from that sequence. As the name suggests, it chooses some random value. So first let's create a sequence. So let's just name it SEQ. It's just a random name, you can give some better name, and in this you can create a sequence of numbers or names as well, anything. So here let's create a sequence of some names. So let's give the name John, Sam and Bill. Okay, so once the list is created, we can directly pass the list to the method random.choice, as we have seen that this method takes a sequence or a list as a parameter. So we have already created a list, so let's just pass it. So this is our list, so let's just pass it to the method. So random.choice, and let's pass sequence. So it has randomly chosen Bill this time. So let's try and run it a few more times. This time we have got John, Bill. I don't know he loves Bill or not. Again John. Okay, give me Sam. Yeah, we have Sam, John. Okay. So I hope you have understand that what this random.choice does. So let us move ahead and let's try and understand the last method that we are going to discuss in this random module. So this last method is random.shuffle. Again we will pass a list to it. So what it does is it shuffles the values or shuffles the indices of the values in that list. So already we have created a list that is named SEQ, that is sequence. So let's just pass it to the method random.shuffle. So random.shuffle, and let's pass sequence to it. Now let's print the sequence. Okay, so print sequence. See, so it was randomly done, so the indices were changed. Let's see where it is. Okay, so right now it seems the same. Okay, random.shuffle, and this time it has shuffled it, right? So first we can see that John, Sam and Bill. It was John, Sam and Bill. Then it became Bill, John, Sam. So let's try it again. Random.shuffle, and let's print it Bill, Sam, John. So what it does is it just shuffles the list in itself. Again we can do with this with list, because list, as we discussed, it is mutable, that is we can change the values. Right now we are not changing the values, but we are just changing the indices of the values. So these were the few methods of random library. Let us revise. The first was random. Name is weird, but what it does is it selects a random value between 0 to 1 and returns a floating value. Then we have randint and randrange that returns some random value in the specified range, and in randrange also we can specify the step. And then we have random.choice and random.sequence. To them we pass sequences or the list as a parameter, and random.choice returns random value from that list, and it shuffles the list. So with this, let's end this video, and that's it for this video. And in next video we will discuss about some operations on strings. So let's catch up in the next video. Until then, please like, share. If you have any doubts, please comment it, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.